Well, welcome back. This is another beautiful day. Every day is great. Every day is beautiful, no matter what you're going through, right? You see, this episode of Mind is Matter is going to put it this way. I usually write a topic as to what I'm going to talk about. But for some reason, nothing was clicking. Usually, in the creative process, when things aren't clicking from what I've noticed, it means I should just go with it. And that's me personally. It might affect you differently. I used to get frustrated with it, actually. Then I learned that it was just another aspect of myself, I guess you could say, that is only really there in the state of the being, like the being of it. You can't think of it, but as it's happening, it makes perfect sense. And that's kind of how my life goes, actually. Who else here can relate to that? Can you relate to not knowing what the heck is actually going on? And yet, through life, things just seem to keep working out for you. I hope so. I'm putting that out there that, yes, that's you listening to this. That's exactly what happens. In case it's not, that's okay too. There's always something greater that can happen. And a lot of times people find it hard to keep that hope alive. They find it very challenging, find it somewhat redundant, because it becomes redundant, right? The longer that you live in this life, the more and more firm you have to actually become, especially when it comes down to what I'm talking about. When we set up ourselves to do and be something, and it does not happen the way that we anticipated, because of course not everything in my life goes exactly as I personally plan it, right? I usually do get what I want. Actually, I always get what I want. I can't escape that. But like what I consciously want, right? But it's not that things don't happen, mistakes aren't made, and it's not that it just goes absolutely perfectly smooth. There are speed bumps, there are curves, there are stop signs, yield signs, green signs, yellow signs. I mean, there's all types of things going on, right, as you're on your way. And so I just send out a bunch of love, send out a bunch of security, send out more faith in yourself, more faith in your creator, more faith in your purpose, more faith in your life, more faith in your loving, and more faith in yourself. Like I said, I started with self. I'm going to end with self. I never understood, like, how can people have so much faith in something outside of themselves? And I'm not judging. It's just, I personally, just like you may not understand my love for dogs, right? If you're not a dog lover, like, I just don't personally understand how we as people worship something outside of us. Like, is it when you close your eyes and it goes dark and you're by yourself, there's something in there that just has to know that what you're calling out to is also inside of you. And it's more so inside than anything else. Meaning it's more inside than it is outside. I just never got that, you know? I never got that. And I wish... I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? Like, again, it's just when I close my eyes and I just shut up for a second, it's like I can feel that there's something so immensely powerful within me that could explode my body at some point, you know? Like, the fact that we're constantly blipping in and out of existence, our atoms vibrate so fast that they become invisible, number one, and two, travel interdimensionally. I sound crazy, but it's scientifically proven. I mean, look it up. Quantum physics, quantum mechanics, look that stuff up. It's real. It sounds all woo-woo, but it's real. It's absolutely real. We're not solid beings. And if you've ever seen that movie Lucy, oh my God. Oh, you got to watch Lucy. That right there is a great way to put it, right at the end. I won't tell you the end. I want to talk about it, but I won't. At the end of that movie, Lucy, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. What was that actress's name? I'm going to look her up. Lucy. Movie. Scarlett Johansson. Yes, Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman. Both of those people were in that movie. Very, very good movie. Powerful movie, right? But in that movie, man, I'm not going to say it, but basically we can vibrate so fast that we intercept time, right? Time is a construct. Time is something that's made up. Time is something that we have manifested and been able to measure something that it doesn't even really exist. And people fight me on that all day long. Fine. We can talk about it another time. But the fact is, we're not matter. We are the soul that is controlling this body, this mind, hopefully the body, hopefully the mind, and is in full totality with the source that created it. Otherwise, we would not exist. We cannot exist without a source. Nothing can exist without a source. Am I saying, or am I deifying human beings and myself? No, not even in the slightest. It's just a recognition that the being in which one calls out to is a reflection of you, meaning it's the same thing as you. We're just a fragment. You ever heard we're the entire ocean in a drop? That's exactly right. We're the whole ocean in a drop. The ocean is not divisible from itself. The ocean is the ocean, the water, the bacteria, everything in it. It is it. When you take out a bit of the ocean, you did not remove the essence of the ocean from the cup that the water is in, right? Or excuse me, you didn't remove the ocean from the water that's in the cup. You just took a fraction of it. And someone described it this way. It's like as if you were to take a cup of water from the ocean. That's the soul. Then, what did he say? He said something like you add dye to it or something. That's like a red color dye. And he said like that's the spirit. And then he said something about creating the ego. Like, so another addition to it or something is the ego. And that's pretty much what we are. But we are originally the ocean, right? We are originally the source. So I just have never understood it. It's just me personally. And at this point, I'm kind of ranting about it. It's all kind of food for thought. That's what I'm realizing that my podcast is. It's a lot of food for thought. I find myself to be somewhat of like an investigator, I'm like an investigator, man, like a reporter. Like I love to find this stuff out. I love hidden things. I love it. I can't help but absolutely love it. I enjoy it very much. And that actually brings me to a very good point, right? This is how the flow of things happens. But that brings me to a point where Micaiah realizes that hyper focus on something, right, without ceasing is positive. Hyper focus, hyper diligence, persistence, dedication, determination, those things are absolutely great. But there's a balance that has to be had when it comes down to quality of life, diet and exercise, mental health and breaks and things like that. Do you ever realize that when you're doing something over and over and over and over and over again, it sometimes can lose its meaning? And perhaps it could just be because it's an accepted habit and belief by the self, by the body, by the mind. That could be it. Or it could just be, I don't know. It could just be boredom, right? We get bored. Humans get bored, especially people who love to learn, who love to think and grow. We get bored. Can you attest to that? If you're on this channel, you're someone like that. If you've been listening up until this point, you're someone like that, I think. But yeah, can you attest to that? Like, you hyper focus on something and then all of a sudden you realize, I haven't been even like enjoying it as much. It's not bringing me the same spark. Like, and when that happens, it's okay to take a break. You know what? I used to take a break and never get back to it. That was my problem years ago. But it's okay to take a break and get back onto the thing, right? Focus on something else. Like, I'm currently writing a book, right? And in this book, I was writing like furiously on that sucker for a good 6 weeks. And then all of a sudden I was like, man, I'm over it. And I said, Micaiah, you've done this before with other projects, How have you handled it in the past? And I went way back in the past and I'm like, wow, I used to never, and it was kind of like an epiphany moment. I used to never go back to it. But it's funny because only a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I found myself right back in it. And I was just vigorously right back in it like, man, this is so awesome. I changed a lot of stuff. I mean, I really changed a lot of stuff. But that break was required in order for me to actually get back to the work and improve it. So again, back to the hope thing. It came full circle. Look at that. Look at that. Back to the hope thing. Back to the faith. If I didn't have hope and faith that I could achieve things by proving them to myself, I had to do that. By remaining consistent, by forging a really like solid mindset, man. That's it. Everybody says mindset. We know this. It is mindset. It is mindset. Because you can have two people grow up in the same family and end up in two totally different directions. They could be twins even, right? This twin wants this twin wants that. Sometimes one ends up more well off than the other, or finds, better relationships than the other. It's all mindset. That's why no two people are the exact same, because we're all individual drops of that humongous ocean. And the faith that we want, we have it. We have to cultivate it. We have to continue to work on it. Things are going to come. And I don't like to use the word test that faith. But right now, there's no better way to describe it. Things are going to come to test that faith. Things are going to come to push and shove and throw darts and daggers and try to chase and all these things, you will have obstructions. It's okay to take a break from things that you don't even want to deal with. Like, you really can take a break from things. This society, this culture, text messaging, instant messaging, emails, phone calls, all this stuff has attached us so much to other people that it's like you get a text message, you feel bad for not texting back for days. I don't feel bad anymore. Like, it is what it is. I get back when I get back. And that's okay. The people that love me, the people that, that I am close to, they understand it. And it makes all the difference in the relationships that I have, because I'm treating myself the way I want to be treated. It's okay if people don't text me back for days at a time. It doesn't matter. And it never mattered to me. That's the crazy part. Like, I allowed myself to be convinced it mattered to me, but it never ever mattered to me. It's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. And I'm using texting as just a instance, just so people understand kind of where I'm coming from. So it's okay to take a break from things. It's okay to take a break from work. It's okay to take days off of work at multiple days without feeling guilty if you work still. It's okay to do that. It's okay to take a break from your children. It's okay to take a break from your animals. It's okay to take a break from things in life. It is okay. From people, from places, from things. Sometimes it's necessary in order to go back to that thing. Hence why vacations are so freaking popular. To go back to that thing and do better. And to go back home and live better. And to be better and do better and just have more of what it is that you want. So I hope I trust this has been another thought-provoking conversation. As we all know, mind is matter. This is Makaija and Direct Sunlight. Always remember, family, be the sun, not its rays.